Welcome to the Sips and Smut podcast, where taboo is the topic and the tea is hot. I'm Maddie,
I'm Jordan.
and today we are joined by Christina Berry. Welcome, Christina. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your writing, your books, all of that jazz.
Sure. So I'm Christina Berry. I am located in Austin, Texas, and I write smart, smutty romance. It's generally contemporary. I do have a couple of series that are completed, and one of them is set back in 2005, which I think technically now makes it historical fiction.
I don't subscribe to that as a 1900s baby. I refuse
Yeah,
to
I know,
subscribe
right?
to that. But yeah,
I set a lot of the stuff here too. So I've got the Lost in Austin series. I have Hearts of Texas, which is small town Central Texas firefighter series, which has a cat dad, a single dad, and then male dog dads. And then my Lost in Austin series is just a big emotional pile of crying and laughing and all the emotions in between.
I love it so much. So Jordan and I read two different books from two different series just to get a feel. I read Hearts on Fire, which I absolutely fell in love with, and honest to God, I devoured this book so fast.
I love that.
And I gotta say, one of my favorite things about this book is the mental health awareness that's in it. So I am somebody who also suffers from PTSD and severe generalized anxiety disorder. I will just throw this out there for other people dealing with it. My therapist once told me that I had the worst anxiety of any patient that she's ever treated. And so I told her, I was like, oh my God, I'm number one.
Yeah.
And she goes, you are not. Right? I was like, I'm winning? And she was like, this is not what I want you to take from this conversation. Like, you should probably talk to your doctor and up your anxiety medication. That's what I want you to take from this. But the representation, I just felt so seen in everything that she goes through in this book. It was an amazing representation of both PTSD and generalized anxiety disorder that I feel like you did such a phenomenal job of it, and I wanted to note that first. But what was kind of the spark behind Hearts on Fire and that series, because it is book one in the series?
Right. I initially thought it would be a standalone. I have all these cats. My husband is allergic to cats. We have a dog now, but at the time I wrote it, we had no pets. And I was just like desperately in love with all the neighborhood cats. And they all like lived in our yard and would pee on our porch. And finally,
that was one of my favorite parts. And at the end, when he still pees on the porch, I died laughing because it's like such a cat thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had so much material to pull from with all these weird stray cats that would just do whatever they want in our yard. And I had a cat before and she passed away, and so like I wanted to write a romance that had like a absolute cat character in it. And so I had just kind of finished writing some of the heavier scenes for the Lost in Austin series, and I needed a bit of a palate cleanser. So I just wrote it as a standalone. And then I think about a year or so later, I had a stroke, and I had a really hard time reading and writing. Mostly my attention span. So like later on, you talk about mental health awareness. Later on, I write a lot about ADHD because I basically got ADHD with my stroke. And I was having a really hard time writing. And I realized like, oh, I'm going to write another Hearts book. And so I wrote Hearts to Mend, which is a second chance romance that is characters from the first book. And then kind of like they have their own romance. And one of the characters, I give a stroke. So I'm like, I'm going to exercise that demon and kind of get the story told. And then finally, I was able to like write more. And so it started as it was going to be just kind of a fun little project that I could just kind of throw out there and be done. And it is now turned into this really like big series that it's a 3-book series, but I'm actually working right now on a spin-off series. And so like this community of Krause, Texas is going to be seen again and again. And I'm already thinking of like I've decided that in the next series, I definitely want to have some other woman drama. So I'm like trying to figure out like who's going to be drama one. And just a lot of like having a lot of fun with that community. So I actually, that was one of those things where I had one idea and that's not how it actually ended up. And I think that that's kind of the beauty of indie publishing is like you can kind of just go your own way, figure out where you want to be. And
we've talked to so many authors that we talk about, you know, putting yourself in your writing and how cathartic that can be. And it sounds like this ended up becoming that for you. Like it wasn't the intention originally. And I'm, as much as like, I am not happy that you had a stroke. I am so glad that this series goes on because it's so good. And I finished the first one and I was like, I need more of this small town. It's just like, I don't know. You just feel it. Like I live in a small town right now and you just nail the dynamic of it.
Everybody's a little bit nosy, but they all love you. I that's one of my other things that I really enjoy is the found family aspect of small towns. And so I, you know, even with the characters who are male, one of them has problems with his family. They don't accept him, but the town does. And it's like this great sort of found family community. And so when I finished that series, I knew I needed to finish the series just because I'm one of those people who is a finish, like I want to finish a thing. And it's like, okay, I'm done with the firefighters. But then I'm like, yeah, but there's this new firefighter who's a probationary officer and his family owns a construction company in the town. And his dad is really bummed that he became a firefighter instead of coming to work for him. And so there's all this drama there. And so I get to have more firefighters in the spin-off series.
I am.
It starts with the fire.
About it. Not mad about it at all.
I know.
Hearing about Drew going through like being in fires and, you know, being the nozzle man and like then going to fight a wildfire. I'm like, get it? I will watch this. And I loved every second of it. Now, was it something where like Drew came to you and you're like, I want a firefighter in this? Or was it more of like Chloe came to you first and you were like, I want to deal with like the mental health aspects and she's moving to this it's a new town, but not a new town. It's changed very much from when she was a child, but it's still kind of the same. Which one came first?
I think Chloe came first. And actually, when I was first writing it, for some reason, I was going to make Drew a computer programmer. And I was like, that isn't going to work for me. He needs to be a firefighter.
The firefighter fits so perfectly, like trying to imagine him as a computer programmer. I guess the whole cat thing would fit in, but
it would work. Like, he could be a cat dad with
he's like a real generous badass.
Yes. Well, so when I was writing it, one of the first things I did was I looked for photos of models with cats because I was like, I want to have a cat on the cover.
Terrible.
And I found a photographer in Europe who has a cat and he has a lot of photos with models and cats. And I was like, okay, perfect. And for some reason, there was one photo where a guy was like looked like a firefighter. And then I started like really looking at it and I found that calendar in Australia, which is it's just firefighters with cats.
So good.
And I was like,
not that I know, not that I've looked this up before. But if you have a moment, you should totally do that because it's worth it.
It's wonderful, and they raise money for pets that need good homes, and I was just
some of them are like really hot.
Yes, very. That's actually one of the themes I've decided in this new spin-off book. I'm going to write they're going to pose in a calendar.
Oh, yes. I know, because I live in a small town. We have a volunteer firefighter like group here that mans the fire station. And we, like the 3 surrounding towns are also small towns. So everybody has their own volunteer thing. And like every other night or like every 2 nights, that town is on call. Mm-hmm. And I was reading this and I was like, damn it, none of my firefighters are this good looking.
Yeah.
They're all like, bless them for everything they do. I respect it. I don't know how they do it. But I'm like, most of them are 50 plus years old in this town. I don't get this same dynamic, which is a real bummer.
I live in Austin, and I actually for the second book, when I decided I was going to make a series, I decided to do a ride out with the local firefighters,
Oh, how
kind of like
fun.
learn from them, and they thought it was hilarious, and I'm like asking them all these questions to like to build the characters in my romance novels, and they're kind of like okay. And I
That's
told them
amazing.
about that calendar, and they pretended like they'd never heard of it. I'm like, I don't believe you guys.
Those liars. Those dirty, dirty liars.
I know, right? I was like, you guys know that
Well,
you're
you should
basically a
probably
whole
look it up.
trope in romance, and they're like, what? No. And I'm like, okay.
I'm like, yeah, no, you are. Okay. You aren't living under a rock.
3 fire stations within a 2-mile radius from me. And I did do ride-alongs with them when I was in school for an EMT.
Oh, neat.
Not all of them I would say are book boyfriend romance looks area. They're all really sweet and nice, but there was a couple of them I was like,
oh yeah,
oh wow,
yeah. That I noticed that like the mustache trend was really popular when I was doing ride outs with them, and I was like, but
it's not even a
very
good
well.
mustache. It's like the 1970s mustache. It's like borderline handlebars, and you're like, I don't know why this is coming back.
This reminds me of my dad in the 80s. Like, please.
My husband's cousin, who's married, and he's so nice, but he is also a fireman in Georgia, and he also is rocking the stash. And I am like, what is it with the stash?
Yeah.
Why are we bringing this back? It's kind of like going into Macy's and seeing all the 90s stuff coming back, and you're like, or gaucho pants. You're like, God, I thought these died. I'm like, why are we bringing these back?
We've moved on.
Real life moment happening with that. Well, I read a different book, a very different book from that.
You did read a very different book.
Yeah, it was very different. So, how do I say all this without giving so much away? Because so much happens. So basically,
I'll plug my ears so I don't hear any spoilers.
Basically, the best way I can say this is that I kind of identify with Ari a little bit because everyone goes through this, in my opinion, especially women. When you're a mom or you're married with someone for a very long time, you just go through periods of loneliness. It just happens. And so in this, and you can get yourselves out of it after you talk to your partner and all that mess. But for this particular situation, it seemed that Ari lost herself and she decided she wanted to do something different. And she talked to her husband about it, and he also agreed to try to do something different. I am trying really hard not to give this away for you, Maddie, because
it's okay because I read the synopsis.
Right.
Like I think you and I read all the synopses of all of the books, and we picked the one that like spoke to us the most. And that's why I was like, I gravitated towards the anxiety one, and like, and you were like, give me all of the men.
Give me all the books. Well, it's sort of that. I read a little.
I know it's a little different, but yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't expect like obviously there were some issues with her relationship. Trying not to give so much away. This is so hard to say without giving stuff away. But
well, I don't think it gives away if you can say like, I don't want to say she's like troubled in her marriage, but like discontent.
Yeah, they were disconnected.
They've been together like 12 years,
which is very, I think, such a normal thing to go through as a married woman. Like as time goes on, you change, your spouse changes, and like you, Jordan, you and I have kids. Like that changes your relationship. And so reading the synopsis, I was like, girl, I get this.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's even more layered though, in my opinion, because she really is, she's in this like a phase of numbness. Like she's having it's basically depression. I feels like that's what I was getting from it.
And undiagnosed depression, definitely.
And I felt that because I'm pretty sure like I've gone through phases of that, because especially when you have kids, it seems like there's so much more asked of you than normal. So
you drain yourself out for your kids, and by the time your kids go to bed, I don't know about you, Jordan, but it's like I barely have anything left to give my husband, let alone just to like sit alone in a room in my bedroom or in the bathroom in the bathtub and like a bubble bath just to be like normal for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have kids. No. She's 29, and she's kind of she's at a funeral and she says, you know, is this it? Like the funeral for the person that she's gone, like it's her husband's grandfather. And he's just lived this incredible life. And
Yes.
she's like, my life is so small. Is this all there is? And so she's having this weird sort of early midlife crisis at 29. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's when she approaches her husband and says, hey, how would you feel about opening our marriage? And he's like, okay. So they
I
do.
don't know about you guys, but I feel like midlife crises have moved from like your 50s to like your
Mm.
30s nowadays
Mhm.
for like Gen X, millennials. I
It does.
remember having like a quarter life crisis at 25. Yes, so much happens.
So
Yeah.
much has happened when we were we were in school from 9/11 to now.
Yes.
Yeah.
My high school just celebrated its 15-year reunion and I'm like, first of all,
That's very true.
I don't want to
Not
believe that it's
allowed.
been 15 years, but also I have two children, so fine.
Fair.
I'll give on that because I was not a teen mom as much as it felt like it at the time.
Uh-huh.
Um, but so much happens, and it's like all of these crises have moved ahead like 10, 15, 20 years where we're all going through this. And I think it just shows the state of the world. There's so much going on right now.
Mhm.
And you get these moments, whether it's a death or losing a job, different things, a breakup, where you're like, there has to be more
Yeah.
than this. Like it has to get better than where I'm at right now. And it's such a normal feeling. So it's nice to hear that explored. And I'm really excited to read that one because
Oh,
Jordan hyped it up so
yeah.
much.
So good.
And I am like, yes, okay, it's my next one.
Cause see, okay, look, in our day to day lives in our job, we're investigators, and so I was already like questioning some things on the husband side. Like most men, I feel like would say okay, but it was how he approached it that I was kind of like
Hmm.
something else. But I really
I
like.
like how you do that. I'm
I was
watching you.
like, what? I was already kind of questioning him a little bit because she had more of a reaction about his grandfather stuff than he did,
Hmm.
and that bugged me. I was like, nah, I
That's
have to
Right.
interesting.
like, yeah, there was,
She
yeah,
kind of talks about him being a little bit unapproachable, a little bit of blank a blank wall. Like she doesn't really like they've been together for ages, like since they
yeah,
were 17, 18, and she feels like she doesn't really know him. He's traveling all the time and she's at home and so he's got this whole other life, this whole other world and she's just sort of staying home all the time. And so, yeah, they're very much not really in a relationship anymore.
I wonder if that's a male thing because, like, obviously, science has proven that women mature faster than men, and so I feel like for women, we're going through this like midlife crisis between like 25 and 35 to 40. In
Mm-hmm.
men, it takes so much longer. They're not going through these midlife crises until like 45 to 60. And
yeah.
that's when they're all going out and like
Buying a
dating
car.
20-year-olds or getting
Yeah,
sports cars or like dumb stuff. But I think it's like a very normal thing for women to go through this sooner, especially because men go through it later. If you're in a relationship with a man that's similar to your age, you're at different points and you're like, there has to be something more than this. And at the same point, they're like, I don't know that there's anything wrong with where we're at. And that can be difficult.
right.
Well, he's
Well, and I mean, we have that biological clock that they don't have.
God,
So
that's
you're
such a
probably,
real thing.
yeah, you're
It's just a
probably
piece
right.
of garbage, but like it's a real thing.
We don't age faster, but we get to that midlife place
Yeah, it's the
earlier.
maturity level, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is like the different points between eh, yes to that, but also it's just that it's not like he's being hateful towards her either. I just want to say that too because they're very good to each other. Actually, it's still very mostly healthy relationship. I just don't think that they're matching the same level like they were when they were younger, and
Definitely
they're
not.
not
Yeah.
they're not talking to each other really about it either. That's the other, but
Hmm.
like miscommunication is huge here, and I feel like that's very very common in any relationship anyway. But having that when he's traveling a lot for his job, she doesn't travel for her job. She barely gets out. Like it's a
Right.
very very different dynamic for both of them. So it plays a huge factor in how the relationship is. And I found that interesting. What you just said too. Were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that the book has the open marriage, but it's definitely not a good roadmap of a good open marriage. Like their communication, like you said, is just really not up to snuff, and they are always sort of like ships in the night. Like she comes home and his car's gone, and so like she just sort of is okay with that. And after a while, you're like, are they even really still married at this point?
Yeah, it was.
And they're almost like roommates. And so it's not a healthy open relationship. So if anybody who's coming from a poly place, it's definitely not like I've had a few friends who are like,
I have to say, I absolutely love that, because as somebody who's not, into the poly lifestyle or things like that, my husband and I have been married for just over 10 years. And I have to say, the 7 to 8 year mark was the hardest of our entire marriage. And it's so normal because you get so complacent, you get so used to your lifestyles. Like he had a very different job than what I had. So I was working like a 9 to 5, and he had these weird hours where he would leave the house at like 3:30 in the morning and get home at 2. Just very, very different lifestyles. And I love that you tackle things like that are normal relationship things like that, or with my book, the anxiety. Like it just felt so poignant and so spot on with the topics that you're talking about, that these are things that people really deal with, whether it's your marriage gets a little stale, whether I say it like that. I think every marriage, if you don't go through rough patches, are you even married? Like you have to, every relationship is like that. You have points that are difficult and you have points that are easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with mental health. You have points that are difficult, you have points that are easy. And I really love that you tackle that with like such an appreciation of what these characters are going through. That it just, I feel like when people are going to read your work, they're going to feel seen. Yes. And I appreciate that.
I hope so. That is definitely one of my goals.
I wanted to ask, like, what was the inspiration for this particular book, and how? Because I don't know how to describe it other than like I did feel like she says seen. I felt really seen on that. Like you go through those moments with your significant other where there's communication issues, and
that's because we're married to men, Jordan. Of course, we're gonna have miscommunication issues.
But it was just an interesting take, and just watching her figure herself out at the same time, because she didn't really try to figure herself out. She didn't even think about it, and I thought it was such a. I was along for the ride, and I was like, oh, and I think I said this earlier before we started recording, where I was like, wait, we're going here? No, we're going this way, and then we're because she's exploring a lot, I will say. So there was a lot of like different things.
And I respect the exploring. I gotta say,
it wasn't like over the top. It was just like, okay, she would like try this happened, and then she would like try that, this happened, and this happened unexpectedly, like sort of stuff like that. And it was such a great, realistic way to go about it. It wasn't like she walks into a room and all the dudes are like, hey, all of a sudden. It wasn't like one of those weird moments like that.
Only,
it was very realistic, and so I was very like enamored with the story, and I was hooked. So what inspired this? Like, did you both something similar, or
So that's the first book I ever wrote, and I wrote it basically. I did not think it was a romance when I was writing it, and I thought it was like a women's fiction story. And then everybody was like, "Oh, there's way too much open door stuff not supposed to be a women's fiction." I was like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea. So like my very first foray into writing, I was just writing about how I met my husband. I was married, and we opened our marriage, and I kind of went through an adventure through the bars and bedrooms of Austin, and then I met my husband, who is an electrician, and like so a lot of that stuff, it's like
I cannot wait to read
from today's headlines.
It's really, I already know I'm going to, from everything you've said about it. I'm like, It's legitimately when I tell you it's the next step on my Kindle when I'm done with this tonight.
Awesome.
And I like every night for self-care, like I chilled in the bathtub in a bubble bath and I read.
Oh, nice.
This is what I'm reading tonight.
You could do immersive reading.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're both of the series. That series is now fully out on audio, and then the Hearts of Texas series, book 1 is out in audio, and the rest are coming in the next month.
I did listen to the audio and read it. I did the immersive reading.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
So
they did a good
I'm gonna have to do the immersive reading.
Yeah, I love the way that they did it. And like the Lost in Austin series was another one where I really didn't think it would end up being a series. As I was writing the first one, obviously it started out with like, this is kind of my story. This is what happened. And then I just kept fictionalizing and fictionalizing. And before I knew it, it was just a fiction story that was inspired by real events. And as I started getting like people to read it, they were like, this is a romance. And I'm like, is it? And they were like, yeah, it's an atypical, it's like a kind of a non-conventional romance, but it's a romance. I'm like, oh, cool. So then I started to think about it in that way, that universe. And all of a sudden I realized like I could write Jake's story. Like Jake is the best friend. He's this quirky indigenous rock star who he's just like living it up. And then he gets his book and he falls for the roller girl. And then like the third book is the husband from the first one. He finally gets his HEA, but he is like spiraled. And then finally, in the fourth book, you talked about mental illness representation. It's the bartender from the first one, which is his name is Manic, and he actually has bipolar disorder.
Great name for someone with bipolar. That has to be a nickname. Right?
It's a nickname.
Okay, so I was like, nobody is that lucky.
He's a retired circus performer, so he's one of those people who would like lay on bed of nails and hang things from his piercings. And so he's just like this really strange character and a lot of fun. And he's just sort of in every book. And when I got to the end, I thought it would just be 3 books. Everybody was like, well, what about Cheryl, which is this best friend character? And I was like, They were like, give her a book. I was like, oh, okay. Who would be her? Manic, of course. And so it's like, obviously, this needs to happen. So Manic and Cheryl have their book. And I do a lot of exploration into mental health in that one because she has ADHD. Like she's got this really funny inner monologue where she's like, everybody just thinks I'm too much and too this, too that. And
yes.
I had Angelina Rocca did the voice for her and she nailed it. Oh my God. I'm like, this is so great. So in a way, like I have fallen in love with the books again because of the voice talent. And that one was like my absolute favorite. So if you're an audiobook
to hear from an author, yeah, because Jordan and I both love both. Like we both love to listen, just because I think it adds a different layer. Like Jordan and I both, I think, agree that you get 2 different things from like the audio and the print.
Oh yeah,
2 very different like feelings and emotions, and so I love to pair them and get both. And so I love hearing from an author that like you also fell in love with it differently. Because very often I will read the book first and then go listen to it. And it adds a whole new layer. It's a whole new level of love for the same story. But it's a whole different experience, which is so fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mentioned earlier that I had had a stroke. One of the things that I really couldn't do as well after that was read. My attention span just couldn't sit still long enough. But audiobooks came to the rescue. And like I listen to audiobooks constantly. And so when that happened, I was like, I have to get my books on audiobook just for accessibility. Like it became a hugely important thing for me. And so having them come out now, I'm just so excited. Those actors give the characters so much dimension beyond the page.
There's so much depth beyond the page. Like you get so much from the page, and then what I love to do is read it first and then go back and listen to it. And then it's a whole new door. It's a whole new story, and I'm experiencing it differently. But like the different nuances that a voice will bring to it, I adore. But I do have super severe ADHD. Like it's really, really bad. And I cannot do one thing at a time. It's
Same.
very rare, right? My husband makes fun of me because like we'll be watching a movie. I hate going to a movie theater because I can't have my phone out and play a game at the same time.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I can't do one thing at a time. And so I love audiobooks for that reason. Um, Especially, I mean, I have two kids, one of whom is a special needs child. Like, I don't necessarily have a bunch of time to sit down and read other than like right before bed. So being able to plug in and listen to a story while doing laundry, while working, while cooking dinner is just like, I can't even explain the amazingness that is audiobooks.
Yeah, it made everything better because like I had a stroke because I had a hole in my heart that I didn't even know about. Like you can just be walking around and have a hole in your heart. It was like an 11 millimeter hole in my heart.
Yes, you
and
can.
Huh?
You sure can. My mom
Yeah.
passed away because her heart was 2 sizes too big.
Oh no,
and she had no idea.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had no idea. And so, then I
Thank God you found out.
A clot passed through. And that was a whole thing.
I can't even imagine. Like my father-in-law has had a stroke. My mother had 2 heart attacks. I can't even imagine like going through that.
Yeah, and like I'd never really had any health problems, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, one of the biggies. Okay. And so having that happen, and then you feel old and useless, and like my left side didn't work as well, and on top of that, then I couldn't really read, and I couldn't really write, and so now I like, technology is just so great for that kind of stuff. So like audiobooks for reading, I can use the when I'm in Scrivener writing my books, I can have it read aloud to me so that I don't have to like read I can, and then she's reading it so monotonously that if it's a run-on sentence, you're like, wow, okay, let's stop that. I need to
right? You can
that.
hear it.
Yeah, you can hear
all
the
do
problems.
the same thing at work, and I'm like, oh, why does this keep going? Because Jordan and I, we don't write books, but we do write reports for our work because we're fraud investigators, so we have to write kind of lengthy reports. And I really struggled at work with my ADHD for a while because my medication was on back order.
Oh,
and I remember
gosh.
listening to it and being like, this sentence is like 5 years long. Why is this 5 years long? And thank God for the technology that we have nowadays, or I would have submitted that. My boss would have been like, what are you doing?
Right.
I'd be like, I honestly have no idea.
My brain forgot to put a period in there. Oops.
Right? I mean, like, having severe ADHD, my husband and I get in fights all the time because he'll be like, why didn't you think to do this? It's always about, like, one of our big ones is the espresso machine. Because I don't think to put water in the back of it, or like I don't think to fill up the grinder prior. And I'm like, dude, I can't even remember if I ate breakfast this morning. Do you really expect me to remember to fill the back up of the coffee pot? Because you should probably give on that because it's never going to happen.
Oh yeah, ever since that night, like I have the hardest time with my calendar. And like I was looking at my calendar today and I was like, oh, I've got this thing that we planned like months ago. And I'm like, oh yeah. Okay, wait, I gotta like go back and look. And it was like my brain was just like, wait, I've got to refresh because it is gone.
And you know what's funny is TC Craven. We've done a couple interviews with her, and I was unfortunate I had to miss the second one because I lost power in my house. Thank you, New England. But what I loved was she was there so early and she understood like the ADHD thing where like if you have an event at a certain time, the rest of your day up to that certain point is done.
Yeah.
Because you have to prepare for the event for like however long you have from the moment you wake up until that event starts.
Yep.
And then you have the event and then you're like, I will be dead for the next 48 to 72 business hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We were talking about that. I just got my hair redone and a friend of mine came over and did it and it took hours and I love her to death. She's amazing for doing that. So. And then I passed out basically and I was useless for the next 36 hours because of all the talking and socializing and I'm just like,
much people.
I used all of my battery, all of my socialization battery gone. Need to recharge.
My best friend, God love her, So my birthday is in November. However, for my birthday, she bought me tickets to the Youngblood concert because
yes,
I adore him.
Yeah.
And we went on this past Tuesday down to Boston, and we saw the Youngblood concert. And we stayed downtown,
Nice.
and I was like, I am gonna need 72 hours to recover from this. From driving down to Boston, the amount of places that we visited, restaurants, the concert, the hotel, I was like, I am dead for human contact. If nobody could bother me for 4 days, I'd be very happy.
That's where I'm at, because I'm about to start signing
Such
season.
A thing.
Yeah, I'm going to be
summer's
doing
such a busy season for you.
Well, yeah, so I've got San Diego Spicy Reads coming up this month, and then next month I was going to just do Knoxville, Tennessee, the Rockin' Readers.
That's going to be a fun one.
But I just signed on to Beyond the Read, Brea or Brea.
Ooh.
Beyond the Read author event. And so now that's like exactly 1 week before the Knoxville event. And I'm like, coming from Austin, I could just fly out there and stay. Yeah. But also, I'm going to need to pass out.
Respect for that, because I think about that and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna need 2 to 3 weeks before another event.
Yeah, and it's like one a month all the way to October, and I'm just like, okay, this is just part of the work of getting your name out there, and you just kind of like, I need to like budget that time. Like, okay, I'm doing an event now. I've budgeted for a lot of sleep.
I gotta say, that's one of my favorite topics that we talk about on the podcast is like indie versus trad publishing, and how much work and hustle goes into indie publishing. Yes. Now, granted, you have much more authority over the stories. I think we have better, I don't want to say better stories, but like more inclusive stories, just different stories that you wouldn't get. Yeah, exactly. It's the creativity aspect of it. Like, you're going to have different stories, different plot lines that, you know, trad publishing would deem a little too iffy.
Yeah.
And I adore that because we get just different stories, more well-rounded stories. But my God, do you guys have to put in so much work on the back end?
It's a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the balance, and I haven't yet.
Yeah, I don't know that we've met an author yet that was like, I have this down to a science.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody is like, I have no idea what direction is up, but like, my bills are paid, so I think I'm okay.
I think we've met one author, and that's because she's been doing it for a very long time. It was Becca Jameson.
Yes.
Down. She has it down.
Oh my God, she's like got it a year out. Her books are written a year out.
I'm so jealous.
And I was like, girl, how do you even do this?
We were in shock. We were like, what? She's
like, I know.
I've got this book. I'm planning these, and I'm like,
I know she has a book that comes out every month, and I was
incredible.
Like, how?
She's killing it. Yeah, I just went to. Well, I didn't go anywhere. It was InkersCon, which is like a virtual conference where you learn from other authors, like how they're killing it. And I was just so inspired. And it's like, okay, I gotta work on this, and this. And one of the big things is like build my editorial calendar and follow it. Because
such a work thing though.
Yeah, well, writers talk a lot about word count, and one of the things I'm learning is like incorporate my own mental situation into my goals. And word count doesn't work for me. I celebrate when it's like, oh, I finished another chapter. I've like basically I've written it, I've edited it, it's clean, it moves well. That's done. I mean, it's not done because it still hasn't gone to my editor, but it's like, that's my goal. And so now it's like, okay, instead of this word count, this like big pie in the sky number that doesn't matter, if the words aren't going to be words that I want to keep, what's the point of accumulating a bunch of noise that I'm going to cut?
100%.
Yeah. So like I'm going to do like a two chapter a week goal. And you know, with that, I can in theory write 2 books a year.
Honestly, I think that's 100% fair because I think that we all deal with things like that, especially at work. Like, because Jordan and I, our end product is essentially some type of report that we produce. There's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember sitting down with my boss and being like, okay, you need over 30 reports a month. And when I look at it at 30 reports per month, I can't hit it because of my ADHD. Because I'm like, oh, I have so much time. And then by the end of the month, I'm like, I'm out of time.
Yeah, that's a
And so I
report
have to,
day.
yeah, I have to look at like, I have to do 2 reports a day to hit that. And if I can hit that very small number, so I love that you're like, I'm only really worried about the chapter. Because at the end of the day, the big numbers will come, the word count will come. But if it makes sense and is actually like a productive product, that chapter, I feel like that's what matters the most. Because, like you said, if it's a word that's not worth keeping,
then why did
then
I
what the hell's
bother
the point?
counting it?
Like, there's no
That's
point.
not progress. That's just noise.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that
Exactly.
we all have different ways that we can calculate progress and calculate our goals and achievements. It's like I've got to figure out what way actually works for me. So that's where I'm at now.
I love that.
I set goals for myself too. Goals work for me. I
Mm-hmm.
can't like work. I can't do anything like I have to set. This is my number.
I've just set very, very small goals.
I set a decent goal, like not an outlandish goal, just like an attainable goal, and that's
Oh
what
yeah,
I try to hit. And that's my focus. I don't try to pay attention to the other stuff because otherwise I get distracted and no, that's my goal. I just stick with that number. So that's
totally.
what I figured out because
Yeah.
I am an investigator, but I'm a different like faction than what she is. So it's a little differently written and a different kind of quota. So I have to meet so much this month and yada yada. So I set that to kind of help me figure out what I need to do because
Well,
it's
and you and I both function differently at work. So, like, I need a very small daily goal, and you may be fine with, like, hey, X number a month, I can hit that. And for me, I'm like, that is a number out in space, and I would
Yeah.
love to hit it, but, like, I don't know how to aim.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we could maybe, like, shorten that down a little bit to, like, something that I have to do daily.
Exactly.
Cool.
sorry. I just
Yeah.
immediately thought of like Doctor Who, the screwdriver for aiming.
Yes. Sonic screwdriver, 100%.
Yeah.
I
But
love
like
My sonic screwdriver sucks. It has a very small range. It needs to be like this close.
she's gorgeous though. She's gonna be real sassy and pretty. Like she's got fire on her. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool screwdriver. Does it function well? Not really, but it looks fire.
Gorgeous. Love
And
that.
that's what we love. We love the aesthetic.
We're good for the aesthetic.
Aesthetic is like halfway there. If you get the aesthetic, you'll like eventually hit the goal, right?
Yeah. That's kind of like I'm totally doing that right now though. Speaking of the aesthetic, I've got this like project management tool and I am just dork, like I'm really turning into an absolute nerd. Like, okay, I'm going to build this template here and this is how I'm going to organize this part of my life and then I'm going to build this. And I am just like I mean,
you're like, I will solve all of my problems.
And I'm like, it's
with
so
this.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, this is gonna fix everything. And I'm gonna be the most productive human ever. And then you start using it and you're like, well, I don't mean like the most productive.
Yeah.
Ever, but like more productive than I was.
Well, speaking of aesthetic, how like something that we're trying to figure out as well is booths and how you do a setup. Was that something that you figured out on your own? Did you get help or how did that work for you? Because I've seen so many different kinds of
Oh
booths.
yeah.
It's so wild. Like the range is
Oh
endless.
yeah.
Yeah. So how does that work for you?
For me, the first thing I did was I asked an artist to come up with a logo, like a logo. Yeah.
Mhm.
And since my last name is Berry, I was like, let's use a strawberry. And so my brand is Take a Bite Out of Some Smart Smutty Romance. And it's a strawberry with a little bite out of it. And I was like,
yeah.
cute. And then you got Smart Smutty in it. It's perfect. And so then I got a banner. And of course, since you can tell I'm a big fan of the color purple. So it was like purple and red are my colors. And so I've got a banner that's got purple with like the strawberry. And then I like went to my first event with just a banner, a table runner, and then like a couple of little foldable like displays for my books. Like that was it. I had no idea what I was doing. And the first thing I did was I started like writing down tropes and putting them onto post-its and sticking them on the cover of the book because everybody was asking like what kind of tropes are in them. So then the next event, I built on that. I had my initial stuff, but now I've got like a little stick, like, you know, those like little stakes that they put in a flower arrangement. I'd stick that into the book and I would have a little card at the top that had the tropes listed out. And it would be a conversation starter for people, or they could go like firefighter and instantly know that's their book. And then now I've got like merch. I was just at an event here in Austin at the library, and I was sharing. I was like, it was tiny. It was like we all had to share a table, so it was like half of a table. So I couldn't bring even a portion of what I usually bring to an event now. But the woman I was sharing a table with, had the best book display, and I've bought like 3 different versions and none of them worked right, and finally it was like yes. And so I got the book display, and this one in San Diego will be the first one that I use it. I'm so excited. And it's like every event, it just evolves, and you see how other people are doing, and you're like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to try something like that, but in my brand colors. Or like I got like little eggplant shaped neon lights, you know, it's like, it's purple.
I love eggplant. That. I love it. Purple is my favorite color.
Me too.
But it does make me think of one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Because you write so many like different types of books, do you have a trope that is like your personal favorite, either to A, write, or to B, read? If it's the same, cool. If it's not the same, what does it reach?
I think my favorite one to read is Grumpy Sunshine. I just love those books. And lately, I'm one of those people who I'll just like try anything, and then I'll probably DNF it halfway through if it's not working for me. But like, one of the things that I'm really enjoying right now is other woman drama. And so I'm like, I am totally going to write some other woman drama, because it feels so good at the end when like our main character gets the man, or like shows up the you know, high school rival or whatever, and it's like, I need like, the world is rough right now. We all need a feel good story, and it's like,
right?
I'm gonna make
it's
that.
Okay. You're gonna come out on top. We got you.
So I'm totally
such a real thing.
Oh yeah, and like I thought, because one of the things that I've been working on lately is a vampire story, because I normally do just contemporary romance, but I'm like, I'm such a goth. I need to write a vampire story.
Dirty to me.
Yeah.
Vampire story.
So I started writing this book, and it's pretty dark. And about halfway through, I was like, this is heavy. This is too heavy. The world is too heavy already. I'm going to write
It's not too heavy. As 2 people that read dark romance, we can tell you it's not too
heavy. You're like, it's not too heavy. Well, it was too heavy for me. So I'm going to have to figure out what I need to change. Like, maybe I need to like make it more of a Buffy vampire thing, where there's a lot of humor in it as well. Yeah. And it can be dark, but then, you know, it can be dark, it can be emotional, but there's a joke at the end. Because that, I think, I do write with humor, and I hadn't been incorporating that in this one. And it's like, okay, let's go back. Let's start over, reread it, add in some jokes. See where it goes.
Do you love that? Readers that read your books, anything like that? ARC readers? You have that set up?
I do. I do have a small-ish group of ARC readers, but I haven't released anything new in a while. So I'm going to have to kind of reach out when I'm ready to move these out the door.
Oh, what a bummer for Jordan and I.
What's that?
We got 2 more ARC readers here.
Okay, good to know.
I know Jordan and I can't remember what book it was that we read last, that we looked at the comments and they were like, this is pitch black, and we were like, this is like a dull gray.
Dull gray. Yeah, it wasn't. No.
They were like, every review was like, this is pitch black, and then we read it and we were both like, is there something wrong with us, or is this not pitch black? Yeah.
See, I can do dark romance when it has humor, like Butcher and Blackbird and that kind of stuff. I love.
Oh my God, I love
also, the can I cuss on this?
Absolutely.
The Mindfuck series. I absolutely love the Mindfuck series.
Ooh, who's that by? I haven't read that one.
S.T. Abby? Stabby? Oh,
you have to be careful.
Stabby.
That one is my
Okay, I'm writing this down.
Go ahead.
What's that?
I was just say, go ahead. I was just gonna say, be careful if you try to read the book because there's so many like fake ones out there for that book, particularly. But
okay,
that's all. That was my disclaimer.
Oh, really?
No, that's cool. I just wrote it down on my phone so I can look it up because I love the fact that it's St. Abby. Stabby.
Yes, I love that. That's the greatest name. The author has passed away, sadly. So there will not be any more St. Abby books, but that series is absolutely like my comfort read because it's like it's just this like really feel good serial killer.
Yes. I don't know about you guys, but like I have at least 3 or 4 books going at a single time, and one of them right now is Bren Weaver's new one, Harvest Season, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, God damn!
I can't remember if I've read that one or not.
It just came out.
Okay.
Like last, I think I just got it on Tuesday.
Yeah, it came out Tuesday.
Like it's fresh new.
Is it out on audio?
Yes. It is, and I'm listening to it on audio, and
excellent.
I mean, it's right up there with Butcher and Blackbird, Leopard and Lark, all of them. Did you read Taurus Season?
Yes, that's the one I've read.
It's the secondary one to that. So if you hadn't read that, I'd tell you to read Taurus Season.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I've seen the cover in my mind, but it's because I've read Taurus Season. So
I obviously about like the dark and the humor.
Yes.
Like I have such a dark sense of humor, and so does my husband. Thank you, childhood trauma. But like we really do, and I appreciate that so much in a book where I can read it. Thank you, Jordan. You're just like okay.
Cackling.
There's some stuff like that she says that has made me laugh and just go, "Oh my gosh!" at the same time because she's joking. It's so great.
I legitimately have the world's darkest humor. And it's literally like I have different ones that I will tell depending on where we're at in our friendship relationship as to whether or not we're going to be cool. And Jordan knows exactly what these are. Like one is about my special needs daughter. I love her to death. She is the light of my life. I adore her. It is a very dark joke. So.
Oh no.
Well, she has a genetic condition, so she's missing 115 genes.
Oh.
And so I will tell people that she was a DIY. I didn't read the instructions. I had parts left over at the end, but she functions and it's fine. And that's how if you can laugh at that, then I know we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jordan's like, Addie, what the fuck is wrong with you? Girl, how long do you have? Many things.
Like no one just hearing that out of context, they would be like what?
Right. And legit, that's how it's one of the ones that I throw at the beginning of a relationship where I'm like, because I don't know about you guys, but like I don't have time for fake friends anymore. I've been through that, done that. Like you can either be real with me, and if I'm not your cup of tea, I have no problem with that. Go find your cup of tea, but I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste my time.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things that I'll throw out at the beginning. It's a really good gauge as to whether or not somebody and I are going to get along because my humor is so dark.
I had that happen once. I remember, I don't know why this sticks in my mind, but I remember being at a bar with my friend and a guy starts hitting on me and I'm married, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he just won't go away. And I start telling him like really dark stuff and it freaked him out so bad. I was like, this is awesome. It's like a superpower.
That's amazing, right? It kind of is. Like if you can throw that out in a position like that where you're like, I really don't want you to stay here.
Yeah.
You can spin that so you sound absolutely insane. Yeah. And it's amazing. And people will walk away. Like, and it is like a superpower. You were like, oh my God, I got an annoying person to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I just had a thought. I think I saw something about that where like some defense classes actually tell ladies to do that if they don't want somebody to be around them. They tell them,
yeah,
this is like the strangest shit you've ever thought of.
Yeah,
There was like, one
really effective.
There was one I
way
saw
more
that they were like,
than I have a husband.
Right? It was so much more effective. I can't remember the exact verbiage. But it was something along the lines where the person came up and was like, "You are one hot lady," and she was like, "So thank you so much. I feel so much better about myself ever since I got the operation." And like they walked away so fast, and I was like, oh, "I'm gonna write that one down."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I love it.
You have this, is there a working title for this vampire book, or are we still like in early
Yes.
stages?
So it's I think I'm gonna call it I've been like looking to make sure nobody else is already using it, and I'm pretty sure nobody's using Ravenous. So I think it's gonna be the Ravenous series. And it'll be Ravenous
I do really like that.
Ruin, Ravenous Redemption, I like alliteration, so
Don't we all? There's something so nice about it. It just feels cozy. It's like a
yeah.
blanket.
But it's about a woman who's roughly my age, and so she's like born in the 70s, but everybody thinks that she's much older because she's a vampire. And
that's so funny because you said she's like my age, and so it's like, okay, early 30s, cool.
Thanks.
Right on.
So she's older, and so
like you were like, she was born in the 1970s, and I was like, okay, not early 30s, but that's okay.
But like she starts dating a guy who's a contemporary to what she looks like, which is 30s. Wow. And she just keeps calling him like a little boy. She can't help it.
Like, as what you would do, be like, "Oh, baby, is your parent? Are your yeah. Like, what's the ABBA song? Does your mother know? Like, do you have a permission slip to be out right now?"
But I love that it's a vampire woman and not.
Oh yes,
yes, right.
Yes.
And such an underdone character like type.
That's what I'm really enjoying. And also she was about to die, and her maker turned her, and she was about to die from cancer. She's had a double mastectomy. So she has this big tattoo chest piece where she had her mastectomy. And so she's gone through like all this life, but you can't tell. And so all these guys come up to her in bars and kind of hit on her, but she's trying to be a morally correct vampire who only eats the willing. And so like she goes to other people who are sick and kind of tired, and they're, some awful wasting disease is taking them very slowly, and she will give them the gift of, basically she's like a vampire Dr. Kevorkian. And I don't know if that's
I kind of love that.
Yeah,
I get that.
Reference.
God, I hope not. I hope people still know.
I know. Kids today know who Dr. Kevorkian was.
Well, they really freaking should.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. It's almost like this savior complex, because obviously he was the opposite. Mm-hmm. He was letting people die that were terminal. Right. I get that. But like to change that and be like, okay, yeah, you're terminal, but let me give you this chance at life. What a cool twist.
Right. So then, like, I studied history, and so I really wanted to incorporate history as well. And so some of my characters, some of the vampire characters, are like old historic figures, and they have like contemporary nicknames. But it's like, oh wait, that's Caligula.
I am such a nerd, and my younger sister, she doesn't watch any of this. She's one of the I love her to death. One of the dumbest human beings I've ever met in my life. And Caligula was one of the things where she read the name and looks at my mom and was like, "Who is Caligula?" And we were like, "What is wrong with you, child?" But like, I love that because I'm an absolute nerd. I didn't study history, but I do love history.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that kind of as like a little Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it too, because I found out that like he hated the name Caligula. That's like a nickname, and it means little boots. And it was a joke about how he was like the son of an army general, and he would walk around in his fancy little boots, and so everybody called him Caligula, little boots. And they called him that behind his back. His real name was like Gaius Caesar, blah 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 blah. So in the book, he's Gaius. But they figure out
so
that it's actually Caligula at one point. Yeah.
That is just so funny. Because, yeah, a lot of the things that people that like stick with people in history are not necessarily things that they would want to be remembered for.
Oh,
it's a
no.
really good example of that, like how it keeps going on. I do love that. I am such a nerd where I'm like, yes.
I'm sorry. I just had a visual of like her being sassy towards him and getting him like little boots. Like, here you go, little boots.
Little baby shoes or something.
That would be so funny.
Just be like, go take these, go somewhere, little boots. Like, it's such
yeah.
Like,
that's so.
But he's
and I think that
really cool looking or something. It would.
Oh yeah, I think that would be funny, and I think that he'll be my source for comedy because, like, I'm a big Buffy fan. I think I've already said that, but like, Spike is one of my absolute favorite characters. He's the bad guy. He's the big bad, but he's also hilarious. And it's like that's the tone I need to aim for. So I'm gonna go back in, like maybe once I've got my firefighter construction worker spinoff book. It's basically a connection to the firefighter series. It's like a spin-off series, and that's what I'm working on right now. And then maybe once I'm like well on the way there, I'll pick up my vampires again.
Yeah. Do you have an idea when that book's not the vampire one, but like this spin-off is going to come out?
Not yet. I am trying to get my cover artist because I have this great illustrator who did the first series. Because I started out doing hot foods, and then I got those illustrated covers, and she's so fully booked that I'm like, okay, well, they probably won't come out until fall or maybe early next year. So we'll see. Right now, it's like I'm just going to get them written.
That's fair. That's probably, I mean, the most important part. So, but we'll wait. That's fine.
All of your book series that you currently have out. To Book Boyfriend Bash? Are you going to have that out there?
I will have wait, I didn't hear all of your question. Book Boyfriend Bash, will I have my current series is there?
Yes, you're going to have all of that there, like special editions and all the other stuff that's
Yeah. I haven't done any special editions yet, and I need to.
So you sold 2 here.
Jordan and I are sluts.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That was
we like the book trophy.
I love that. That was one of the things that I like watched every session I could at InkersCon because it's like, okay, I need it, and maybe by the one in Midland I'll be able to have that ready, but I don't know.
Well, we won't hold you to that. We'll still buy whatever stock it is.
That's fine. But I just like you can do an event exclusives because some of the authors do that too, where
oh yeah,
not necessarily a book written for the event, but like one of their previously books, like its pages are a certain way just for this event only.
Yeah,
I love that.
Oh,
I think TC Craven's one of the ones that I know that absolutely she actually will do stories just for specific events, but she does have
good.
I don't even know how she does what she does.
Oh my gosh, that is like goals.
Right. Exactly.
More like mini.
She's a unicorn. TC Craven is a unicorn, and so is Becca Jameson.
Yeah, like man,
who also writes like a year out. Amazing. That's a freaking unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought before, it's like, I should just write novellas because I think that's where my attention span is at anyway. It's like, okay, I've written that story. I'm moving on. And I don't want to write a, super long story. I kind of like the insta-love and then, or whatever. Maybe not insta-love, but.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because that's what TC does. And she knocks out books. Granted, it does put a lot of pressure on her because she does like do it for events. Like she writes books before the event. And
that is so cool.
Wild.
Yeah.
And she does.
And they're all like every single one of her books is special edition.
Great, like it's a whole thing for her to do it. So that's why I'm like she goes the extra mile, which we love.
It's a whole thing.
But
that's
I feel like it's also very stressful. So.
I don't know. I like if I was an author, I'd be like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's like a lot of work.
Because I was early in the year. I was like, okay. 2026 is going to be the year that I do some special editions. And now I'm like, we're halfway through the freaking year and it hasn't happened. Is it going to happen? Is it?
Nobody.
Be
That's
honest
okay.
with ourselves.
We'll just be on the edge of our seat for the
Yes.
rest of the year, and that's a-okay. That'll be the hype.
We feel you because we're attending. I don't know what we are anymore, but like attending influencer there.
We're considered an influencer. I don't know that I would consider us influencers, but
that's
we're like
great.
Merch. We're trying to figure out merch. We're trying to figure out things like, oh, I don't know. We're winging
definitely pass out your card at all the
make this shit up as we go.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that event. I wasn't even aware of it until I did the Arden Attic recording because he does the voice of one of my characters in the Hearts We Claim, and a lot of people in there were like, "Oh, you got to do this event in Midland because if you're in Texas," and I was like, "What?" And before I knew it, I got invited, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" I love doing events in Texas.
That's amazing.
So I'm really excited about it.
Speaking of events, what other events are you going to this year?
This year, I've got Spicy Reads in San Diego. Chula Vista is coming up this month. Then Rockin' Readers in Knoxville. Beyond the Read in Columbus, Ohio.
Man, girl, you are all over the place.
The Book Boyfriends in Midland, and then the Traveling Bookshelf in Grand Prairie. I think that's all.
So fun. You're going far, going all the way to Columbus.
Yeah, well, next year I'm going to Liverpool.
Oh, how fun! Okay, I'm jealous.
For the HEA one?
Yes, the HEA one. It's massive. I'm a little bit nervous. It's so big.
Book Boyfriend Bash is actually doing a one in the UK as well. They're having one done there. Yeah.
Oh my god!
No way.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They've already announced some authors and stuff. Like they're working on it. They're doing one in the UK, and they're also going to do one again next year in the US. But
that's so great.
Oh, so fun.
That's so neat.
Travel stuff ready. I'm gonna go.
I want to go for real.
Well, another one that I'm doing that's closer to you on the East Coast is I'll be doing Toronto again next year.
Oh, that's not that far because my husband and I, we go. When I was little, I used to go to Mackinac Island in Michigan between the upper and lower peninsulas every summer when I was a child. And I took my husband twice, and we've taken our kids once. And I really want to go because the last time we went, we drove through Canada and stayed in Toronto, and it was the best time ever. It was the first time either one of us had been to Canada.
Yeah.
And we loved it.
It was wonderful. I went there, I think the year before last was my first international event ever, was the Love and Romance in Toronto. And it was their first event ever. And it was great. They did a really good job. It was a wonderful experience. And the readers are just so nice. I feel like it's a Canadian.
The Canadians in general are just so
but it's
nice.
So true.
It is so true. Like when we drove, they have all these like it was Ontario, so they had all these like en routes, and it was like little gas stations, but they had so many things, and everybody inside was like the most friendly people that I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
I do think I think there's something to that stereotype.
I know, and that's when I was like, I'm going back. Can I come back to you guys? Right? And they're like, sure.
Please come back, please.
So
can I stay?
Really excited about that. So yeah, next year I'm going to be going from Canada to Liverpool. I'm like, okay.
That's cool. Damn. That is going to be so fun, though.
Then I'm going to need like a full week of recuperation.
I love that you're like a full week, and I'm thinking
my
like
batteries
a full
month down.
But that's amazing.
So
that is so fun.
Books. Where can people look for you to see when your upcoming events are, like your schedule?
Yeah.
Socials.
I'm on every social, but I have been kind of pulling away because it is just so time consuming. But you can find all of my stuff, including my calendar, on ChristinaBerry.com. Okay. And I have all my books listed there. And I also have some merch, like keychains and stuff. All of it's there. And I just recently updated it. So I'm like, go there. You don't have
to tell me twice. Goes to ChristinaBerry.com.
Yes. Yep.
I just had a thought.
This has been so much fun.
It has been fun. Real quick, if you get a berry and it has because it's smart romance, right? You have the glasses a little cute because it has the bite, right? Have glasses on the berry.
It would be so cute.
That would be amazing, as a keychain, smart romances.
I think I have. Hang on, I've got this little guy. He's a little strawberry who's reading a book.
Oh my god, look how cute he is.
I've been using him to make keychains and stuff. So I've got those available at my table.
I love that.
They're so cute.
So much. He is so cute.
When we leave this van, Patty, we're not gonna have any drink.
We already don't have any
I also
money.
have this. My camera is not very focused, but it says Smart Study Romance.
Yes. Oh, heck yes.
In my purple color. So yeah, I've been I love to sit around and make merch. So
now, do you have a website with I'm assuming you don't do a newsletter then?
I do have a newsletter, and if you go to my website, the ChristinaBerry.com, there's a link at the very top that says that if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get a free ebook, and it's actually a signed ebook because there's this new feature on BookFunnel where I can do a little use a stylus and sign the title page of my book. So if you go and subscribe,
how cool is that?
You'll get a signed ebook of my novella Wishing Upon a Star, which for Buffy fans is full of Buffy trivia.
Okay.
Yep, just that.
Ebook. If you sign up for a newsletter, go sign up.
Do it, because I just did, and I already have the email in my inbox. I legitimately just went and signed up. I just
and it won't be signed yet. I get a notification.
How dare you?
I need to go sign it. So I sign them once a week. So
that's kind of funny. I would think that they would just keep the same signature.
Yeah, well, then it's not really signed.
Well, yeah, it's kind of cool to know that they don't, because it's an ebook. Yeah. I would think you would sign it once and it would just distribute that, but so everybody knows. No, you individually.
I'm actually signing them.
That's actually really cool. I wouldn't think of it that way as an ebook.
Yeah, I thought about just putting in a signature, and then I was like, well, what's the fun of that? Let's actually.
That is really fun.
My handwriting is not the best with this thing.
Oh, mine's never the best. it's all these people with beautiful signatures, these celebrities with beautiful signatures.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, mine looks like shit.
Mine does too. And I'm
my toddler wrote it.
I'm actually doing signings now, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to practice because this just is illegible. Not even beginning to be legible.
Right?
Yeah.
I used to do my whole name, and now I just do M in my last name.
Mine is just a CB. I'm just like, oh.
And honestly, if you're a hospital, because my daughter has special needs, I spend a lot of time in hospitals. It's a line. That's all you get. Because as people that work in fraud investigations, Jordan and I can both verify that I have never once seen somebody's signature from a pin pad machine ever.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Can verify. We don't look at it.
Well, I have to say, this has been so fun. I am so glad.
This is so much fun.
I have had a blast.
This is so fun. We would love to have you back, especially for the
for your spinoff, your vampire series.
Yes,
I can't wait to go read more.
Yeah, and I can't wait to meet you guys in Midland. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait to go.
Me neither.
And probably buy all your books.
Yes.
I'm gonna come give you a hug first, and then buy all your books.
Right.
Yes.
Jordan, we're gonna have to set aside $2,000 to $2,500 for the amount of books that you and I are gonna purchase. I feel like we should just go halvesies. I'll read one half, you read one half, and then halfway through the year we'll just mail each other all of the books.
How are you gonna get all this home? That's my concern. How are we gonna? I'm driving.
Girl, I have no idea. It's my concern.
You get those little totes that you carry around, and it's you can't get that on a plane.
Girl, I'm like, can I media mail?
At Holidays with the Bells and at Kinky Ink, we had to unload our books and then go back. Like, I'm gonna need 3 cards.
No.
Like, I can't. It's not
I'm so scared that I'm gonna have to like send them to myself.
We're gonna take cards out. We're just gonna have a Rolodex of cards and just like, all right, this one's empty. Guys, you're gonna have to like keep me at that table, Maddie. It's gonna be a problem.
We're gonna have to get you like a backpack leash for toddlers. We'll just
oh my gosh,
I love it. But it needs to be like a retractable one, so you feel like you can get a little bit far, and then we'll lock it, and then you'll just be like pulled back to the table.
Here's this mean I'm gonna cut that because I'm gonna be gone. And so
honestly, you totally would just cut it. So I think Jules and I, who's our friend who will occasionally do interviews when we have a scheduling issue, love Jules. I think Jules and I will end up being at the table, and we'll just let Jordan go around and like frolic.
Be the social
and that'll just be our thing.
I call it book energy. I get energized at events. I've discovered
you do.
I do too. I know exactly what you mean.
I am such an introvert, so I absolutely do not get energized at events.
I am an introvert, but man, talking about books is my favorite subject.
God, though, right?
It's a different vibe.
This is gonna be my first event, so yeah. Maybe I'll find it. I know. Well, there's nothing out here on the East Coast. I live in the boonies. Like, there's legit nothing here. We had a tree that fell last week. And it was so bad that they had to repave the road. And that's legitimately like the biggest thing that's happened in the last year and a half. So that's where I'm at.
Well, you're going to love
my life is so exciting. I'm going to have so much fun. Well, it's like all the people that you wish you had met in like grade school and high school that love books just as much as you. And you're like, man, where have you been my entire life?
Yes. It's so fun.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be a coming home moment, I promise. So you're gonna have fun. I feel like
so maybe I'll need the leash. Maybe you and I will both need leashes.
When I was at Wanderlust. I'm sorry. I was at Wanderlust last fall, I think it was, and there were some women who had like little headbands with a little arrow pointing down to them that you could see around the room, and that was how they could keep up with each other. And I was like, that's brilliant. So smart.
I'm not that short. I'm like 5. Well, depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm 5'7". If you ask my physician, I'm 5'3", or I'm 5'6 3/4. So
that's a huge
he difference. Doesn't. Right? That's a really, really big difference from 5'6" to 5. You know, I can't math either. For somebody that works in finance, I'm real good at math. But like, I've seen those before, and what a cute idea to like keep track of your friends, or like the Sims like
so
diamond thing. Just you're like, all right, there they
are. Yeah. I went up to one of them. I was like, what is that? And it's like, so we can find each other. I'm like, that is so smart.
Genius. Freaking genius. Real women of genius.
Yeah. We're gonna figure something out. I know that
we will have to chain ourselves to that table, Jordan. I have a feeling we're going to have to chain ourselves to that table because we're going to be like, ooh, books. And then it's like shiny object. We're going to be like fish. We'll see a book and we'll be like, ooh, that way.
But it's every way.
But it's everywhere.
Yes, Christina, like oh, they were just there, and we're like all the way across the room.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Right? I feel like you're gonna be like, Maddie, come here, see this.
We're gonna be messed, but it's gonna be a fun.
We are gonna be messed. Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun time.
Okay, before we get more off topic and keep doing what I like to call unhinged sparkling, which is all of this has been so fun.
So much fun.
So excited to meet you in person. If you guys haven't, for whatever reason at this point, go follow her on all her social.
God, yes, you are missing out. Trust us. They're so good.
You guys are awesome. I've had such a good time. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We will absolutely have to have you back.
Yes, I need to write more books, and then I'll have a reason to book more talking engagements.
What a bummer. Oh, I know. Let me feel sorry for a second. World's smallest violin. Darn.
But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But
it's gonna be fun. It'll be so nice to meet everybody. Thank you.
Newsletter and
go follow, read everything.